Are you feeling lethargic, a little down, not as peppy and as charged up as you'd like to be? Well, today I have a prescription to cure you. Nope, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on video, but I bring you the conclusions made by an extensive study of over 840,000 people done by a bunch of really smart actual doctors. Doctors hailing from MIT, Harvard, Massachusetts General Hospital, and the Department of Integrative Physiology at the University of Colorado at Boulder. So, according to them, here's your prescription. Are you ready? Here it is. Wake up 1 hour earlier. Yep, it was found that waking up only 1 hour earlier could reduce a person's risk of major depression and other depressive symptoms by 23%. It is one of the first studies to quantify just how much or little change is required to influence mental health and emotional energy. And this is important to consider since because of the pandemic, we all went through the shift of people working from home and kids attending school from home, and this led many people to shifting to a later sleep schedule. So these findings have important implications, so pay close attention. By the way, for my late night friends, the doctors in this study also found that night owls are twice as likely to suffer from depression as early risers, regardless of how long they sleep. Okay, so that should get your attention. On the flip side, get this, the benefits of each 1 hour time shift actually multiplies. Each 1 hour earlier of sleep corresponds with 23% lower risk of major depressive disorder. But put another way, if somebody who normally goes to bed at, say, midnight, goes to bed at 11 p.m. instead and sleeps the same duration, they could cut their risk by 23%. And if they go to bed now at 10 p.m., they could cut it by 40%. Okay, you now have the prescription in hand. Let me help you swallow it. Here are some instructions to help you take this prescription. First off, the idea that you can't get up earlier is bunk. Absolute and total bunk. So stop saying that. I bounce back and forth between our homes in the Eastern time zone and the Pacific time zones. There is a 3-hour time difference between the two. All I do is adjust my watch while on the plane, and then I get to bed at the appropriate time in the new time zone that I'm going to. I might feel a little adjustment taking place over a few days, but remember, I'm instantly shifting 3 hours, not 1. The key to getting up earlier is getting to bed earlier. That's it. What you don't do is sacrifice your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And this is a key point. Remember that poor sleep is strongly linked to making you fat, unfocused, unproductive, physically weak, way more likely to have a heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and all sorts of painful ailments due to increased inflammation. Oh, and most of your friends will ghost you due to your being an emotionally unstable, irritable, crabby, ill-natured, grouchy crank. So there's all that too. You are not cutting your sleep, only shifting those 7 to 8 hours that you need from, say, 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. to, say, 9:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. If you want to ease into this time shift, just go to bed 10 minutes earlier each night for 6 nights. Focus on the time that you go to bed more than the time that you wake up. That's one big key. Now, there are tons of articles, blogs, books, etc. on the topic of sleep. You can Google tips to help you sleep better. But while we're here, I'll just share with you what I do to optimize my sleep patterns. I'm sure others are far more rigorous with their shutdown routine than this. I'm just sharing you 4 basic things that I have found helpful. Number 1, light exposure is key. One of the doctors from the study that I cited put it this way: keep your days bright and your nights dark. Maybe have your morning coffee on the porch or in the backyard, of course, as you watch your Darren Daily. Maybe walk or ride your bike to work if you can. Maybe take a walk in the daylight at lunch or in the late afternoon or early evening. That's what I do. And then start shutting off or dimming the lights a couple of hours before you go to bed. Number 2, we unhook our brains from the matrix at least an hour or more before bed, meaning no work, no computer stuff, etc. My wife and I will watch something entertaining each evening as part of our winding down process. Number 3, during that time, anchored to it as a routine, we take a couple of tabs of magnesium glycinate and some CBD oil about an hour before we go to bed. Again, I'm no doctor, but one of the biggest problems we have in our modern culture is inflammation. Both of these help with that and supposedly also aid with sleep. Oh, and my wife swears the magnesium helps her poop in the morning, but I didn't tell you that. Number 4, The bedroom has to be a sanctuary. No electronic use whatsoever in bed. I know many of you do this, and you do what you want to do. You're a grown-ass adult. But watching TV in bed will undoubtedly affect your sleep. Your brain needs to tie the bed with peace, calm, quiet, deep sleep. Period. If you stimulate your brain with TV or with your iPad or your phone, etc., then try to go to sleep in the same spot, no doubt it will have an effect. You might justify this with the idea that you need to watch TV in bed in order to get to sleep, which is BS. Go watch it in the other room, then come to bed keeping your bed for sleep only. Another justification is saying you can still get to sleep after watching TV in bed, so it must not be that bad for you. I promise you, it is not as deep, the kind of REM sleep that you need to get if your bed is multi-purpose. Yes, of course, fornication excluded. And the bedroom needs to be dark and chilled. I turn the temperature way down at night. And we have a chili pad system that is a godsend. Thanks again for the pro tip, Sid Pagatapatty. This pumps cool water through the mattress pad and keeps our underside cool all night long. It's a game changer, I'm telling you. And we use a weighted blanket made with a cooling fabric for the top side. And don't forget, an awesome mattress, super comfy bed sheets, and the best pillow money can buy. Look, for crying out loud, people, there's nothing more important to optimizing your health, mental, physically, emotionally, well-being than getting great sleep. And there is not one single spot on God's green earth where you will spend more of your entire existence while you're here than in your bed. At least 1/3 of your entire lifespan is spent in one spot. Shouldn't that one spot be freaking excellent? You should spare no expense in making that spot the absolute best it can be. I don't care about your economic circumstances. Skip that fancy watch or purse, the next pair of overly priced heels or vintage Nikes that you think you have to have and barely wear. Use your existing golf clubs for a few more seasons. Next ones aren't gonna fix your terrible swing anyway. Skip a few nights buying drinks at the bar or a couple of overly priced dinners. Cut your Disney trip by a day. They got enough of your money anyway. Or whatever your money is pouring out to now, reinvest it in the one thing that makes everything better: your bed, your sleep. Make your sleeping environment 6-star. This is so easy, so important, and so crazy that people don't do this. Now, I know many of you are going to have listened to today's mentor session and say to yourself, oh, well, that was interesting, and go on and live the same way. Some of you will even comment, hey, thanks, Darren, agree, great stuff, and go on living the same way. And a small percentage of you will take some immediate action on the tips that I just shared, and it's gonna change the rest of your freaking life. The great thing about free will is you get to choose what you do with what you just gained. Just know, I show up here each morning and I work my face off. I'm sweating through my pits, for crying out loud, to bring you these insights and ideas. For those few of you who choose to be the exception, I encourage you, take some action. Change your freaking life. Write down what you're going to do in your Darren Daily Journal and share your declarations about that change in the comments below.